Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing very well. So in today's video I'm doing a get ready with me, and I'm going to be talking about my appointment a few weeks ago for my rosacea. I know it's been a few weeks since I had it and I completely forgot to actually film about how it went. I have been mentioning it over a couple of my videos, but I thought I would concentrate one video talking about it while I put on my makeup, and I would show you guys what I've been prescribed because it's a long story, but we'll get there. So I'm going to start with my face milk. I'm not really going to talk about the makeup as much, but I'll dip in and out of what I'm using. So I'm going to go with my face milk because I forgot a primer. I don't know how I did that. Last night I was getting everything ready in like my little box and I was like, oh, let's just forget a primer. Anyway, so in case you are new to my channel or you haven't seen any of my videos before, hello, I'm Ameena. I have rosacea. I've had it for the past 4 years, and it is just messed up my skin so much. But if you have been there before, hello, welcome back. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me again. I really appreciate it. So yeah, I basically have had rosacea for 4 years. I've done quite a few videos now talking about my rosacea because obviously it is a big part of my life and a very kind of key thing about my life as to, just, yeah, it's just me basically. And finally I kind of decided to take a bit of a plunge and go and see another expert about it, because I did see my GP when I first got this, and then they referred me to a dermatologist who just told me to stay out of the sun. So I was like, okay, cool, it was just a waste of my time. Good thing I didn't have to pay for that then. And then it was about a month ago, I finally made a consultation with somewhere is called the Skin Clinic, and it's in Holborn. So they are a private clinic that does deal with skin conditions. So I was like, okay, let's see how it goes, because what can they tell me that I haven't seen on the internet? So of course I did speak about this before, but long story short, when I got there, told her everything, she just basically said, yeah, I can't help you. You need to come back like in a few weeks on a specific day and around a specific time, because this one doctor who works with us, she's only available during this time. And so I had to come back, I think it was like 2 weeks later on a Tuesday. So that means I had to book some time off work, which is fine. I'm happy for that. To kind of to see this doctor, because she is a specialist when it comes to rosacea. So I was like, okay, so I made the appointment and then I came back. Oh, this foundation's probably a bad idea. And so yeah, I saw her and she was really super nice, and she was just kind of like listening to my story. So obviously it wasn't like I was in there for 5 minutes and then I left. I was in there a little bit longer, I'd say about 10 minutes, basically. So essentially what she had said was, so it just makes me laugh. I'm not trying to be mean or like cruel or anything. When she's like, she looks at my skin and she's like, yeah, you have rosacea. And I was like, you solved my mystery. I didn't say that, obviously. I'm obviously not going to be rude. But she's like, yeah, you have rosacea. And I was like, okay, yeah. And she's like, yeah, the key elements are, obviously I've got makeup on now, but when you look at my actual skin, you can see like around this side, it's kind of like an oval shape where it kind of cuts off with, where it doesn't really affect. And so I was like, okay, yeah, cool. Thank you for that insight. And so, yeah, she was just like, yeah, you have rosacea, and do you know what your triggers are? And I was just like, honestly, I don't, because no matter what I do, it's constant and there's just no way for me to actually figure out what my triggers are, because there's certain things that I do, but like I mentioned, there's no actual triggers because I constantly have it. And so, cut a long story short, she had basically given me 2 options. Well, one option she really wanted to give me. So the first one, which is what I actually mentioned before, when she said, oh, I would recommend you take Reactane, which is a really strong kind of like a not, is it a drug? Yeah, I think it's like a tablet or something. But there's different things that I would have to do. So for example, I would have to do it for at least for 6 months. Every month I would have to go into the clinic, make an appointment, and then pay for my medicine so they could see how I was doing. And then I'd have to do 3 blood tests. I'd have to do a pregnancy test every time I went there. So if I was pregnant, they wouldn't be able to give me this medicine. And to be honest, each month it would cost me over £200. And I just sat there and I was just like, right, how is this going to be kind of, how would this benefit me, in the sense of, before I quickly just obviously say no because it's so damn expensive, I was just like, can you just give me some kind of like idea as to what it would do, because obviously it is a lot of money and I don't want to be like, oh yeah, that's fine, blah blah blah, because obviously it's not the only thing that's going to be able to help me. And she just said, oh, you know, it's there will be side effects, like, you know, you'll be very sensitive to the sun. And I was like, well, I am already. But she'd be like, oh no, like double sensitive, like really super sensitive. And then obviously you can't drink alcohol, and I'm like, that doesn't bother me. And also, again, like you can't get pregnant and you have to come in once a month, so paying for an appointment itself is £100 each time, and then the medicine itself would be over £100 per time. And so, you know, she said, oh, there will be, like, you know, it will help you and it will really help get rid of like everything. And I just said to her, look, I honestly cannot afford to pay like £200 every month, because what I know, I have a job. I'm very lucky that I do have a full-time job that does pay me well. But honestly, if I had £200 a month to pay, I would gladly do it, but I really do not. I mean, we're living in times where, you know, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And of course, this does affect me every day, and it affects me in so many different ways, but I cannot justify to spend £200. And she was quite understanding, and so she was like, okay, there is another thing that we can suggest. And I was like, okay. So she said, I can put you on a small dose of antibiotics. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, oh, I can give you 2 creams as well. So a cream you could wear in the day and a cream you can wear just before you go to bed. And try it for 6 months. So sorry, try it for 3 months and then come back. And I was like, okay. And she said, oh, the only issue is if you pay at a pharmacy and say that you got it through a private clinic, it's going to cost you a lot of money. So what I had done, so I took the prescription because I was like, I really want to see where these tablets go, where the cream goes, because you never know, it could really, really benefit me. And so I went to, so in Holborn, there's a Boots just around the corner, like a pharmacy Boots. And so I went there and I said, oh, I had this prescription from a private clinic. Can you please tell me how much it would be? And then she kind of took about 5 minutes to calculate it, because that's how much was there. It was just like 3 things, but the way that she was calculating it, and because I think she had to like research how much certain things were. And I was just like, okay. And then she went, oh yeah, so this would be like £120, and this would be this would be that. And I was just like, okay. And I just stood there and I was like, right, okay, so cool. She just went, go to your GP. And to be honest, and to be fair to the doctor I saw as well, she did say to me, if you can't afford this, call your GP and get them to prescribe it to you. And I was like, you know what, I'll try that, because obviously the price comparison to getting it in a private clinic and getting your GP to prescribe you is so different. It's insane. So what had happened when I got home, I called my GP, and I don't know if my family would know how bad the GP is that we live in, the area that I kind of used to live in, because I'm still registered there. That I was like, oh, can I have an appointment? She's like, yeah, we haven't got an appointment for like a week and a half. So I was like, cool. I was like, can I take that please? Because I do I forgot to mention it as well. Sorry, I made an appointment for a follow-up in 3 months. So once I kind of see if there's been any effect of the medicine. I'm going to go back in 3 months so she can have a look. And so I made an appointment for 3 months with that doctor. So yeah, and then yeah, I made the appointment with my GP. I know a lot of people would be shocked by that because a lot of people can call their GP and have an appointment the same day. Unfortunately, where I in East London, it's not like that. It's very difficult to get a decent appointment, and for your doctor even to maybe call you at the right time or to anything. I'm going to do my eyes now. I'm going to do a mixture of a couple of things, so to trail off. I'm going to go in with my P. Louise mini eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to attempt to do something different. And I'm going to use the Light My Best Life liquid eyeshadow by Beauty Bay, and they have changed these now, but I still have this and it's super old, but I really wanted to use it again. And then one of their new eye toppers. I'm going to see if I can do anything, but if I don't mess it up. So sorry to kind of trail off, I tend to do that. I was just trying to remember what I was saying. So yeah, the appointment that I made for at the GP, they said, oh, okay, we don't know what time she's going to call you. And I was like, okay, and it's a Wednesday and I'm working as well. And so I had to obviously say to my managers, I was like, look, I'm expecting a phone call anytime during, you know, this work time. And obviously they were fine with it. They were really nice about it. And so what am I doing? I'm like messing up my eye before I've even started it. And so yeah, it pissed me off so much. So obviously I was waiting in the morning for the doctor to call me, because she was going to call me anytime between 9:30 and 12:30, I believe. And as soon as I kind of turned my back on my phone to make my coffee, I received a missed call from the GP, and I was like, for all the times that I was waiting and all the times I was like, I've waited over a week for this damn appointment, and I miss it by like a slither. And because when I made the appointment, they were like, oh, what's the appointment for? And I was like, oh, for a prescription, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she just sent me an email just saying, oh, tell me what prescription you want. And I was like, I'd rather talk to you about it first, because obviously it's, I just want to see what you recommend, because obviously you've been my doctor for a few years now. And so she managed to phone me back, and then she just went, okay, yeah, no, this is fine, I'll prescribe it to you, no worries. So I was like, okay. So I managed to thankfully get the prescription, and it only came to £30. Like honestly, if I hadn't have thought of going to the GP, and I spent God knows how much money at a private clinic, I would have lost my mind, honestly. Like, it's insane. Obviously I know with NHS trying not to like take advantage of it and everything like that, but it's just so much money for medication. I can only imagine how much people go through, you know, like when they have to take medication on a regular basis, and especially if they're on a very low income as well. Yeah, I just can't imagine obviously having to deal with that. But yeah, so finally I got my meds, and it's been over a week now, and I'll show you guys in a moment once I finish up with my eyes. But yeah, I thought I would just kind of share how everything was going, the kind of madness around my appointments and stuff. And you know, it is a good idea, like if you're unsure about how your skin is or what is happening with your skin, I definitely go and see a GP first. I wouldn't jump in going to see a private physician unless you have the money to do it, because obviously if you do have the money and you want to see you know, the private clinic, but be careful, because again, it is expensive. You don't know really what they're gonna say, because it could be anything that they want to like recommend to you. But yeah, that was basically it in a nutshell. And I'm glad I went, even though the first time I went I was just so depressed, because when she was just like, I can't help you, and I was like, that's not really something you say to someone who is in dire need for help when it comes to like their skin, because obviously, like I said, I have been dealing with this for so many years, and of course it affects me mentally, and I do have like the occasional you know, like physically it does affect me as well, not in the same way of course. um but yeah, it was just strange. I think she probably didn't mean it in that sense of I can't help you, but in the sense of like, you know, I don't think this is something that I can help you with. And obviously it's all about the wording. And at that moment, because it was only like 5 minutes that I was in there, and then she just went, yeah, can't help you. And I was like, okay, cool, so what am I supposed to do? Just like not um get any help? But then obviously when they recommended that I come and see the other doctor, I was like, okay, that's fine. But the fact she only does like 1 day a week, which is a little bit frustrating, but you know, when I go back in 3 months, hopefully, well, I'm hoping that this meds will make some difference. But because it's antibiotics, I can only imagine that after like a few weeks or a month later it will go back to how it used to be, because that's what generally happens with my skin. All the times that I was on antibiotics like a few years ago or even like last year, I basically when the course finished, a few weeks later it went back to the same again. And again, with rosacea, you just don't know just what's going to happen. And because it's a condition that that can't be cured really, and so I'm just, you know, I'm just kind of like waiting for it to come back. And I know that's kind of sad, but it just it's just my life, isn't it? What can I do? So I'm just kind of trying to find the right brush for myself, because I picked up random ass brushes that might not even help me. But I'm just going over. I've done like a little cute look actually. It's not too bad. It's not the best, it's not the worst, but I thought let's try something a little bit different. But yeah, that was my appointments in a nutshell. When I go back in September, I can update you guys as to what happened. And of course, if you watch my videos, you get to see how my skin changes along with me, because obviously most videos that I do, I start off without my makeup, so you will get to see, you know, if it looks good, if it looks bad, whatever. But before I do like my lips or anything, let me show you what meds I got. So when it comes to antibiotics, and please remember this is what they prescribe to me, so if you do have something quite similar, go and see your doctor before you go and buy it. To be honest, I don't know if you can actually just buy this. I don't think you can. One of the things you can buy, but I think the other two obviously medicated wise. So the antibiotics that I got, they're called doxycycline, and I take one of these every morning. It says you have to take it with a full glass of water in case you didn't if you wanted to eat it dry or with like a sip. And then I have one cream in the morning as well. So I have a cream called cilantro, and I put this on before makeup obviously, and if I'm not wearing any makeup, obviously I just wear it by itself. So yeah, I put this on once a day, and then before I go to bed I use azelaic acid, and this is like the key thing that a lot of people use for rosacea. And I said you can buy it in the shop, because The Ordinary, they do a version as well, but I think it's only 10% and this is 20%, and it's a bit more strong. Honestly, when I wear it in the night, I feel like I want to rip my face off, because it just feels horrible. It obviously has like a bit of a burning feel to it, and that's normal, so it's not like it's reacting differently to my skin, because a few people that I've spoken to, they did say in the beginning it does take a while for your skin to get used to it, and that's normal. Like, you know, you're putting something very chemical, not chemical, but like very yes, based on your skin. And of course your skin's probably just be like, what the fuck, what are you doing? So yeah, it's probably, hopefully in like a week or two I'll get used to it. What I have done now, because someone recommended that I put on a tiny bit of moisturizer, like maybe 10 minutes before I put on that, just so that sinks in and it's not too dry on my skin, because essentially what the whole what it was is it just feels like it's sucking the life out of my face. I'm just going to quickly go off camera and do my lips because I'm not gonna be on camera just like doing this, so I'll be back. Okay, so yeah, this is my finished look. I'm really happy with the way that kind of everything came out. I know my eyes are a bit random, but I wanted to try something a bit different today because it's been a while since I used this liquid eyeshadow, and I know that they have like a new formula out now, but I wasn't just gonna throw it away. But yeah, this is my story about how my appointment went and how it was kind of positive and frustrating at the same time. Let me know if you found it interesting, if you have any questions. If you do, it's fine. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching and subscribing. Yeah, it makes me so happy. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe because I film and upload every time I get a chance to. Don't forget to follow me on my social medias because I'm always active on there, and you get to have a closer look of this look. And yeah, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're healthy, happy, and you're safe. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye.